Hey folks, Mark here at Gilbo Realty. Thank you so much for coming back for another show here this Sunday, February 16th. We're halfway through the month. Mortgage rates are sitting at 6.93% nationally averaged, down slightly from the 7.05 about a week and a half ago. Thank you for saving us $6 on our mortgage payment, folks. What else? Desantis may end property taxes, or at least it's in favor of it, in Florida. And what does that mean for the villages and other places around the villages and some of these larger cities? I think there's been some lawsuits going on in Texas and some other states about property taxes on real estate and how, personally, I feel it's unconstitutional, in my opinion. And I think they should be booted. But take a look at this. DeSantis supports idea to eliminate property taxes. It's been picking up steam, at least eliminate, but not so much eliminate, but at least lower them. You know, Florida is a tourist attraction. People tend to go there during winter and other places. Disney, during the winter when the weather's a little bit better and not so hot. I'm sure there's ways they can figure it out. One thing is for sure, the schools in the United States are like, out of all the industrial companies or countries in the world, we're like number 40 out of 40, and we spend the most money per pupil. Now, this is nothing against teachers, especially if you're good at what you do. But I think the teachers even know that the system they're in is not very good anymore. It needs to be changed. And I think this is just happening at a rapid pace, not so much in the United States, but across the world. People are waking up to the BS that has been going on in all these systems for the last, 30, 40 years. And it's time for change. And people are no longer willing to just sit around and let government do whatever they want, whenever they want. I mean, I looked at my property taxes on my place, and 10 years ago, 12 years ago, they were about $3,000. And today we pay, if I didn't have the star exemption, which is kind of like the homestead exemption of Florida, we'd be at over $6,000 for our property taxes. So, people think that 1%, 2% isn't a big deal. Oh, it's only going up $100, but 1%, 2%. If you increase taxes 1% per year, what is the formula for? In 72 years, they'll double. Obviously, mine have doubled in 10 to 15 years. So obviously, we're way above that 1% rate. We're probably more towards 3 to 4% per year. That can add up really quick, and it can really, really, really add up your taxes fast, especially as you age and maybe aren't working full time anymore, not a fixed income. So I think this is a great thing that at least someone, at least a leader of Florida, is looking at it and at least mentioning that they're in support of it. If they can figure out how to fund the schools, maybe look at the schooling, maybe look at revamping how the funds are portrayed to the school, how they're spending. Maybe we need a Florida Doge team to go into the school system. I know New York does. And just look line by line and see where all this money is going. So like I said, it's kind of interesting to see where these property taxes are going, because people are getting ticked off that, here I am, I'm paying my taxes for 30 years, 40 years on this property. I may not even have kids, or my kids were in school 30, 40 years ago. I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. My income's not keeping up with inflation. So I'm getting whacked all around. My food prices have gone up 30%. And people are taking, or at least saying, no more, I'm done. And I don't blame them. So hopefully this is seriously going to be looked at from a point of view that's reasonable, honest, no BS. I already know the school systems are probably panicking right now, but at the same time, I think something has to happen. We have to change the system that this tax money is all being wasted on. And there's a lot of waste in a lot of systems, no matter what state you're in. Okay, so I think this is a good thing for Florida. I'm glad DeSantis said it. If you haven't been to our website, this is it. Go to the Villages tab, buy a home, sell a home. We have a Facebook page. Join us on X as well. Plus, obviously, if you're watching this video, you may be on YouTube already. Please like and subscribe down below. But if you go to buy a home, fast home search, it'll bring you to multiple different ways to search. I have it all broken down for you by price. Many different ways you can search all inventory. North of 466, between the sixes, south of 466A. Waterfront, pools, golf courses, fenced yards, houses with golf cart garages, corner lots, and turnkey houses for those of you who don't want to worry about furniture in a house. Or maybe you're an investor looking to buy a house that's turnkey, ready to go. Check out that link. And if you're looking to rent, go to rentals in the villages. I don't really cover rentals too much yet. We're working on it, but we're still a little ways away from it. Okay? But this is a great way for you. Sign up if you need help with your search. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. My information is down below, and I'll be happy to do this for you. If you create a login, I'll create your search for you if you want, and we'll make sure that we're squared away. We got you all set. You're going to get homes to your email once a day, usually in the morning, and that fits what you're really looking for. But let's look at some houses. So let's see. How many homes are on the market right now? Let's check that out. Go to this fast home search. Go here to all inventory. There was 636 the other day. We're back to about 630. So some have fallen off or vice versa. Come back on, fall off, come back on. There's been a really major trend of inventory increase across the states, including the northern states, not just the southern states, folks. And it looks like the villages, the builders slowing down building. They don't really want to build a house right now unless they sell a lot. So you're seeing that going on. So that tells me the sales have slowed. And I look at their sales at the county, wink, wink, just to see where everything's selling, or at least closing. And when someone says they sell a home, I'm talking about when they close on a home, not when they write a contract on a home. Okay, those are called pending sales for most people. I don't care about the pending sales because they can fall apart, back out. There's a bunch of stuff going on in those deals. But at the same time, I'm always looking at, okay, how many homes they're building, how many are closing, and it's kind of interesting. I see less and less spec homes on the market, and Craig just posted them down below in my previous video. I said there's like 80, a little bit less than 80 spec homes for sale right now. So the villages will love to have you go look at a mound of dirt and say, okay, I'll take this lot, please build my house on it. That's kind of what they're trying to get to without expending a lot of money on upfront costs to build a spec home. So they learned their lesson, hopefully, down in Denham and Dabney and Newell. They built all that area as fast as they could. And the reason why builders build is because, they got to keep their workers employed. They have to make sure that, those people are busy. They don't want to lose them to another builder or vice versa. Okay, and the Villages does a good job of that, I'm assuming. They have been building quite a bit in the last 4 years. But I think a lot of inventory in Florida is hitting the market and just sitting. And the Villages does a better job than most. Outside the Villages, it's a lot worse than in the Villages. So they definitely have a bubble going on there. But it makes sense for the Villages to pull back a little bit, in my opinion. If they're doing it to keep prices up, it's not going to happen. It's that's going to be a lost cause. But at the same time, like I've said for many, many, many months, probably going on almost a year now, that the correction of COVID ramp up is going to be a gradual decrease unless something major happens. If you're looking at a bank crash or people freak out with the stock market, that'll happen. Okay. And I think, that'll cause a lot of people to have less trust in the system. And when people have less trust in the system and how it works, things get bad. That's what happened in '08, but it happened overnight. Okay. And I think, I don't see that right now. I do think people are still buying. They're paying cash. They're still selling the houses in the northern states or the western states, and even the state of Florida to move up to the Villages. And I think that's going to it's going to be interesting to see where the market goes this summer. See what happens. See where the rates go. They're at 6.93 this morning. You could probably buy them down a little bit, but. So what do I think is going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months? I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to probably give my opinion here in the next week or so as to where everything's going to be going. I do think, and I've been saying this for a while, that inventory is just going to increase. And I don't think, I think more and more people are waking up to the fact that I need to get rid of this house, or my house needs a ton of upgrades, or I don't want to live here, or I don't want that second home. Okay, or I want to sell my place before, prices come down, or I may not have any equity. So there's a bunch of things people are doing right now and there's a million reasons why somebody sells a house, but We're going to see what happens here in the next 2 or 3 months and see where the inventory goes. But let's look at some houses because I pulled some here built within the last 4 or 5 years. We're looking at a couple. Got some honorable mentions too for you to look at. And I'm going to show you the differences in pricing between 3 of them. I'll show you why the prices in the villages just don't make sense. I just think some of the agents don't really do their homework. I think they just want the listing. I think they're afraid to tell the seller that, you're overpriced on your house. And I don't get it. I mean, I'd rather not have a listing than overprice somebody's house that just sits there for a year because it costs me money. Now, it costs me money for photos, costs me money to do open houses, right? It costs me money to put signs up. It costs me money to keep showing people houses, take phone calls. All that stuff costs money. And if your house isn't going to sell, it's probably overpriced. And I'm going to show you 3 examples why that is happening right now in some of the villages areas. So let me show you this house here. Hold on. So I have this one, okay, 1658 Galloway Drive. And I think this is in the village of St. John's. Now, a lot of these homes have sold. Okay, in St. John's, it's been a major turnover in that neighborhood in the last year and a half. This house, now you would think at that price, $500,000 for this courtyard villa, probably a Charlotte model by the looks of it. 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. Now this is nothing against the seller or the agent. They just dropped the 20 grand, but it's not enough. And fortunately, this house is just sitting there 65 days on the market at $335 a square foot. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is going on with this house? What's special about it? The reason why they're pricing this so much more than a similar courtyard villa not too far away. And I'm like, okay, is there something inside that really makes this house stand out? No, I checked. Is the backyard great? Does it have a pool? They're giving away, the golf cart with the house. That's fine, but I don't really need it. I could probably get my own if I want. There's a ton of them around for sale. Quartz countertops, granite countertops, updated bathrooms, anything? No, I mean, it's a nice layout. They have a nice kitchen in it too. It's pretty basic, right? But they have the basic countertops. Nothing outstanding. They're pretty. I like the cabinets. It's a pretty house. So as we keep going through this, they do have this pushed out kitchen. So they do have a couple more cabinets compared to some of them. So that's a plus, right? But the countertops are plain Jane. And if I get back to the master here, I'm thinking, okay, maybe, so they added this fireplace. They put the fireplace in with some stone around it. Okay, that's not a big deal. That's pretty basic. So let's see if we can get inside and see. Here's the master bed. Let's see what about the master bath? Now, I stayed in this Charlotte just like this, where you had the closets on both sides. I'd like that style. You can have a his and hers that's nice with a dual sink straight ahead. Okay, there's that. You have a nice shower to the side with a pocket door toilet. Okay, pretty standard bathroom for a Charlotte model, right? Now let's get to the backyard here because let's just see. Okay, maybe the backyard is amazing. They do have some screens they put up for the sun. Still typical screens. They're not enclosed, this lanai. Nothing of the sort, right? Backyard's fine. This is actually the side yard. They got some potted plants here that they're growing. Okay, so the yard's okay. You could probably fit a pool here if you wanted to. That's a plus. But they're backed up to a busy road. They did paint the driveway. I don't think they have a garage picked by the looks of it, but I'll just double check. There you go. So they sealed the garage floor, so we'll give them that, okay? But then I go into some other ones. And so you have this one here, but let's get out of that and let's go into, because you have this for $499. Now, to me, if I'm looking at them, here's one here for $1,492. It's the same house, $1,492, 3 bed, 2 bath, $1,492, Charlotte model, 3 bed. Now, I will tell you, this one has no bond. I will tell you, this one has the bond paid. Okay, so both of these, there's no excuse. Both of the bonds are paid in this house. Okay, this one's $425, 75 grand cheaper. But let's go inside this house. What am I getting here? I'm getting the painted driveway, same thing. It's the same layout. It's a Charlotte model, but let's get to the kitchen here. We have quartz countertops, not the plain Jane countertops. The other one had that pushed out kitchen, so they had a few more cabinets here. They do have the quartz countertops running into the other bathrooms as well. So they have quartz countertops, upgraded countertops in this unit as well for 75 grand less. Okay, so you're not getting a golf cart, but I could probably get one of those really cheap in the Villages. I assume there's a ton of them for sale. If I come out here, there's pretty much plain Jane lanai, plain Jane backyard, side yard, nothing outstanding. Okay, there's nothing a major change between this one and the other one. And I'm really not backed up to a hugely busy road compared to the other one. So this one here's, if we look, $499.9. This one here is $425. So it goes to show you that, you know, some people are just taking listings to get a listing. And they're not really telling their sellers, okay, I don't find any home sales, Charlotte models that fit your price, because what was this at recently? They just marked it down. It was $519. So how'd they come up with that $519,000 price when all the homes in this neighborhood have sold below $420 for this Charlotte model? Most recently, there was one, the same house, for $406. And now you're seeing them throughout the Villages for less than $400. So as a realtor, now you have to go back to the seller and say, look, you know, we overpriced your home. It's not right. It's not accurate. And this is nothing to pick on this seller. But if there's anything amazing about this house that I'm not seeing, other than it having no bond, but so does this one for $425, 75 grand less. Then you go into this guy, and this beats the pants off both of those except for the bond. But this one here's a Winslow model. I showed it the other day in a video for 1,800 square feet, 3.2. It's a bigger courtyard villa for $415, right? So what? $84,000 less than this one and $10,000 less than this one, and it's a bigger house. All tile, it's beautiful, built in 22. Right? Built in 22. How about this one? Built in 22. So this just goes to show that the differences that you can find in the Villages and why none of the pricing makes sense. As a lot of times I just think it's because realtors are just trying to get the listing. They listen to the seller. They hope the seller can get what they're hoping to sell it for. And unfortunately, you know, you still have to do comps. It still has to appraise. I can't imagine a house selling for $500,000 and getting the appraisal to hit 500 grand. If you're financing. If you're paying cash, fine. But if you have to finance a house, there is no way that house is appraising. That's one thing the realtors really need to tell the seller. That, look, even if we sold your house for this price, we're not going to get an appraisal anywhere near that $499,000 price. Because every home in this area that is sold in the last 3 or 4 months has sold below $420. And the appraiser's not going to put their license on the line for one house, okay, for a $425 appraisal. I'm not going to ruin my career, my life, my savings, my livelihood for a house. You know, that's how appraisers think, okay? And then you have this one here, which could easily appraise at $415, but just because of the size of it and the model. So let's look at that. There's 3 of them that I want you to see why there's so much of a difference in pricing. I think a lot of it has to do with realtors just being too wimpy to tell the seller, I don't want your listing because it's 100 grand overpriced. So anyways, think about that one. Let's look at another one. Now here's another one. This is a premier 10-foot ceiling model. I think it's an Iris 10. They call it something else in here. Starling 10 model, which was previously the Iris 10. Now these are 10-foot ceilings. These are a premier home. They just started calling them premier after, but they used to call them Iris 10, something 10. The 10-foot meant 10-foot ceilings. It's a nice house. It's $785. It just dropped $53,000 for a premier. Now I will tell you that there was a premier over in, I can't remember where it is. It was off Megacin, and I looked at it a couple times. It was right on the golf course. It was a pretty house. It was all custom, but it sold for the low 8s. But it was beautiful. Like, it was the model home when the Villages were building in that area for people to go look at. And it was really nice because typically the Villages will put extra stuff in them. And this house was pretty. It was low 8s, but the yard was small. You could fit a small pool in there if you wanted to, but it was on the golf course. And it was only about 30 grand more than this thing that it sold at. But again, that one started high too. It took pretty good discounts to get it down to the low 8s to sell. This one here, $785. They had to come down $53K after realizing, hey, no one's coming to my house. But okay, here I am for 407. I think this is on the golf course. We'll find out. Let's take a look. It is. There's the bridge, the Village's bridge. But let's see the inside of it. Let's take a look here. It's a pretty house. I like to walk in. I like the closet. I like the fact it's angled, so you're not looking directly into your living room. Love the kitchen table, or this dining room table. Very pretty house. The decor is nice. You can tell it's during Christmas time. Very festive. Very nice. Office, front of the house. Love the light. Love the big rectangle island. Quartz countertops are pretty. It's got dual sliders to the back lanai. It's got gas stove. Very nice. Love the floors. So 53 grand off this house. And it was built in 22, 23, I believe. Okay, here's the master. Big window. Love that. I prefer a slider or French doors, in my opinion. I want a door there. If I'm going to put that huge window in, I want a door. Love the carpet, kind of. I like it. I like carpet in my room. Let's see the bathroom here. Okay, so we got dual sinks, quartz countertops, nice bathtub, stand-up shower on the right. I like that. I know the ladies will appreciate the bathtub. Here's the other bedroom. It's cute. Here's a shared bath. Love it. Not too bad. Got a little fireplace out here. There's your view. I mean, it's a beautiful view. But as you can see, even golf course homes, I mean, without a pool or anything, these are going in about $360 range per square foot. And they have this one over $400 a square foot. Now we're going to look at, now look, this is considered a premier home, but I'm pretty sure some of the ones I looked at were too. But as it looks here, sellers are motivated. Well, maybe that's the reason why they took the $50K price cut. 42-inch cabinets with crown molding, huge kitchen island with porcelain farm sink. Enjoy the 19-hole sunset with breathtaking views of the Richmond Pitch and Putt golf course. Okay? 10-foot block and stucco construction, no prefab wall like the developer is using now. Well, there's pros and cons of both, but they had a hard time making the premiere with those prefabs, I guess, which makes sense. Choose your mode of transportation. So it's a nice home, right? So it's sitting at $407 a square foot. I still think it's a little high. Built in 23, $4,500 a year in annual tax amount, supposedly. Let's see where it's located. Okay, it's in the village of Richmond here, which is north of Warm Springs. It's not a bad area. You're close to Brownwood. The highway does run behind you, though. But you're looking at $785. It was just built in 23. So think about this one, 4522 Shockoe Circle, Shockoe. 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,927 square foot, $785. Just took a $53,000 price cut. Let's look at one more. Okay, and then we have this guy, just took a $30,000 price cut. Not 10-foot ceilings in this, not a premier. $499, 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,914 square foot, 6292 Marnie Terrace. It's the second house in from the golf course on a kind of a dead-end street. Sitting at $260 a square foot. 3 beds, 2 bath, built in 21. Taxes sit at about $7,500. Take them with a grain of salt. It's vibrant. It's nice. 55-plus community. Okay, so the agent is too lazy to put the village in. But anyways, it is in Citrus Grove. I'll tell you guys where it is for the agent. So there's Sawgrass. Here it is. There's Citrus Grove. You're right above the northern sections. Okay. So they started at $529, $30K off, now down to $499. No takers. Let's look at the inside of this. It's nice right here. There's a pretty view. There's the highway. You're probably going to get some of that noise on this side of the golf course. Not to worry about roof or anything. Landscaping's pretty plain Jane. I like it. Garage doors are pretty. It's nice. Little suite up here in the front left. People like that. Got a bathroom and a bedroom over here. Okay, got a closet. Nice. There we go. All tile floors. These people even move in. It's like bare minimum furniture. Holy cow. All right. All right, so here we are. They have basic countertops, surprisingly. But I like the big island. It's nice. I like the cabinets. They're fine. Washer and dryer off that. And that goes into the garage right here. All right, here's the master. All right, so here's the big closet. I assume this is a shower. We can see some tile right here. So you have dual sinks. I like the cabinet space. It's nice. Here's a shower. Okay. Here's another bed with tile floor. Like it. Here's another bed right here. That's fine. I'm assuming these are in the front of the house. Here's that bathroom. Tiles to the ceiling. I like it. No junks around. All right, so here's a big garage with golf cart garage. Nice. These people have already moved. You can tell. They're gone. Here's the backyard. Lanai. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's not a huge yard, but it is fenced. This must be a veranda. It is. $499, 1,914 square foot, 3 beds, 2 bath, 6292 Marnie Terrace. It's right here. It's pretty. Built in what? 260 a square foot. That's okay. $7,600 a year in taxes. It's a village of Citrus Grove, folks. The good thing about this, what I like about it, it is near Sawgrass, which is right across the street over here. For entertainment, restaurant, drink, you can go right over here. It's hop, skip, and a jump away to walk or take a golf cart. So think about this one. 6292 Marnie Terrace. It's not too bad. It's actually priced okay after this discount. A $30K. So anybody telling me prices are not coming down on homes, they may want to rethink that comment. So if you're going to do a lifestyle visit, please let us know. One of our agents will be happy to meet up with you. Sandy, Raymond, Steve Bedell, my wife Nicole, Tyler, our new agent just came on. We're already available to help you out. Please let us know so we can prepare for your arrival. That's the gist. We want to make sure that we're prepared, we're organized, we're ready to show you houses, or at least answer all your questions to give you our point of view. Go to the Villages tab up here. Go to Buy a Home. You can go to Fast Home search multiple different ways, create an account. If you need help setting up your account, let us know. Don't be afraid to download our map. It'll actually also be in your welcome email. But our map has been hugely successful, and it gives you the ability to search each individual village within the villages. And you click on it, and it'll open up the inventory in that village on our website. So think about that. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.